Well, it's our commander in the South in 1999 who said that pretty much the whole North Korean military is underground. They have some 15,000 underground facilities. They were building underground during the Korean War along the DMZ, where they built whole factories, dormitories for soldiers and everything underground. And they've been doing it ever since because they've never been able to control the air, either during the Korean War or if there were another one, they would lose control of the air very quickly. Kim Il-sung said, I think around 1962 or 63, well, the U.S. has put nuclear weapons into the South, which we had done in 1958. We have no choice but to build underground because they can sweep the face of our country with those weapons. And that wasn't the start of it, but it was a big impetus to it. So you have jets flying into the side of mountains. You have an army of more than 1 million men and women that in a country that has a population of 23 to 4 million. So 1 in every 23 or 4 people is in the military.
It's astounding.
It's astonishing. Men stay there from 18 to 28, 10-year terms. But then, of course, when they're 28, 38, 48, they are people who spent 10 years in the military. And so the general population is heavily militarized. And I have always liked the term garrison state, which Harold Lasswell coined back around 1949 or 50. And I think Eisenhower used it a couple of times when he was worried about the military-industrial complex. But I don't think there's ever been a garrison state like North Korea. It is the most militarized state on the face of the earth, dug in redundantly. I mean, I once saw something in the New York Times. I mean, I don't go to Washington to get security clearances, so, you know, it's a limit, a certain kind of limit on what I can know about all of this. But I saw in the New York Times that the U.S. thought North Korea had 2 and possibly 3 atomic bomb controlling centers, that they had, because we can bomb the hell out of them, that they had this redundancy. And so we wouldn't know where the controlling facilities were when they detonated an atomic bomb, because it might be one of 3 places. Now that shows the extraordinary depth of their commitment to building underground. North Korea has been under nuclear threat since the Korean War. Our war plans for decades called for using nuclear weapons very early in a new war. That's one reason there hasn't been a new war, but every general prepares for the worst case. And so North Korea has essentially spent about 50 or 60 years developing the only deterrent to nuclear weapons that they possibly can, until they got their own nuclear weapons in the last few years.
Do you think most Americans know that we had nuclear weapons in South Korea as early as in 1958 or so?
Something that's very mystified. I've tried to bring it out time and time again in articles, but I went to the Eisenhower library and looked at the documents on it. We put Honest John missiles, nuclear tipped, into South Korea in 1958. The decision was made in 1957 by John Foster Dulles. And if you look at the National Security Council records, they know they are violating a cardinal principle of the armistice that ended the Korean War, which is not to introduce new and different quality weapons. They said, well, they're always doing that. They're bringing in new MiGs and everything, so we can do this. But I mean, to go from conventional weapons to nuclear weapons essentially obliterated that, that article of the...
yeah, that's taken as, these days, that is the line.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.